Hello there, this is Ravi today with the leader inside you, wishing you happiness and success. Today's topic, how to write the shining self-evaluation. This is the time of the year. For some of you, we are still working on it. For some of them, it's over. But this problem comes again and again. And I say that this is the problem because for many of us, many of the talented and very smart technology professional, this seems to be a problem, this self-evaluation. They have been working hard entire year, and they have been producing results. They have they have received a lot of thank yous, and they have toiled their weekends, and they have worked on evenings and sacrificed so many things in our life. And this is the time to showcase, the self-evaluation, to talk about the greatness. But this is also the time for stress. It causes lots of stress and anxiety for people, especially technology professionals, because they're so good with computers. But when it comes to people equation of it, talking about themselves, they tend to struggle a lot, and that creates a big hurdle in their career progress, because if they can't showcase themselves, they cannot showcase their accomplishment. Who else would? It's your boss's job to look for it, but he's busy with his own self-evaluation, and that's what probably that your boss is growing faster than you are. So what happens? So what do we do about this big problem that self-evaluation causes? To look for it, so the big problem is actually a problem with mindset. First of all, the biggest hurdle in writing the shining, uh, glaring, or extraordinary self-evaluation is our mindset. We lack the motivation. We lack the no, we lack the motivation. We lack the inspiration because of several reasons, and that stops us. That stops us from putting any effort into this work. Then these are some of the problems that typically people face are these. First thing is, we keep telling stories. We keep telling stories why this self-evaluation thing is a painful process or useless process. And whenever we think of any activity as painful or useless, we tend to procrastinate. And when we procrastinate, that builds a stress. Is it happening to you, some of you, or is it happen that, oh, I had to do this self-evaluation? Oh, date is coming in, and I'm supposed to do it, but I'm not doing it. Your boss is asking, are you done yet? Are you done yet? And you're not doing it. So it not only causes that low motivation and inspiration, but it also causes the stress, because you're supposed to do it and you're not doing it. And other part, what happens is that self-evaluation, of course, it's an invitation for being self-critical, right? We have to talk about the negative things that happen throughout the year. Maybe some project didn't work out, or maybe you got some yelling from your boss, or you messed up something. You have to talk about them. You have to address them somehow, and that's always the painful thing. Showcasing your mistakes and showcasing your weaknesses, or bringing back to that life, it's always a painful thing. And that's why we keep procrastinating it. And then it, as I said, it builds a pressure, it builds a stress. Why am I doing it? Why am I not doing it? Date is coming up. Is that happening to you, and that is stopping you from writing that shining, glowing, performance review, self-appraisal for yourself, so that your boss will be able to take some points and shine you? See, you have to help your boss, right? And the way to do that is writing this self-evaluation in such a way that it makes your boss's life easier. But we don't. Biggest problem is the mindset. We need to have this mindset ready. So why it happens? That's what we're gonna talk about today. Why that happens? Because we keep telling ourselves stories. There are lots of stories we tell ourselves which create limiting beliefs, and that are costing you, because it leads to low motivation to write the performance review. And you're a smart guy, you can figure this out. If you don't write good performance review for yourself, then doesn't go anywhere. It's on a mercy of your boss's memory. It's on mercy of what bosses imagine about you. resignation, and it's on mercy of your boss's skill to promote you. So you're leaving everything, most important part of your career in someone else's hands. So let's do one thing. Let's first of all identify the problem in detail. What exactly is the problem? Problem is that telling you that we tell ourselves stories. And what are those stories? I'll tell you some of the stories that typically our clients come up with, and we help them to write a new story. So these are the stories. So I'm sure some of them must be resonating you, and probably you are thinking about them. So here is the story. Oh, you know, this is just a formality. It's already decided. It's a COVID. This is pandemic year. Nobody's gonna get raised. It's only maybe zero raise, or maybe they will cut salary. It's already decided. No use. No point in writing what I did this year. I'll write it next year. This is the one story we tell. It's boring. Oh God. It's like writing essay. I never liked in my life to write something. I'm good in computers and I'm good in math and good in science, but writing something in a succinct way, I never. It's boring. I barely somehow managed to do this English classes. It's such a boring thing to type something as a paragraph which is non-technical. Or you might be telling a story. Um, I didn't do anything writing that is worth of. No, I didn't do something that is worthy of writing. Oh, I just did the routine thing that I've been doing every year. There's nothing new or nothing glowing or nothing extraordinary to write about. So why take a point? Just whatever we can just cut and paste from last year and stick it in there, because there is nothing new that I did. Other stories that people tell themselves is, I don't know what to write. This is same thing when it stems from the same thing, that I'm not worthy of. There's nothing worthy of writing. The second thing is, even if I know, I don't know how to write it. How to put it in the words, how to put it in the sentences, so that it showcases in you and shine lights on you, rather than just having a list of things of accomplishment. So I don't know how to put it in the words. That's another challenge many people face. And then you feel like, okay, I'm not good at it, so I'm not going to do it. Other story we keep telling ourselves is that my supervisor will override anyway. Right? He has been or she has been doing this all along. It doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter at all. So she's going to type her own thing and she will cut paste her thing, or maybe she'll cut paste from last year. So what's the point? I'm not going to write it. And the most killer thing is, they don't even read it. We tell ourselves story, they don't even read it. They just click yes button and boom, they have already decided. There's no point in writing my story. So is all of these, or one of these, or two of these are stopping you from writing those shining self-evaluation? Then I have a solution for you. The solution is to start telling new stories to yourself. See yourself from a different angle. Here is the thing. These stories are coming from your self-doubter. But at the same time, there is a strong inner leader inside you, which is present all the time. And that inner leader inside you is telling you a different story. That if you really listen to the voice of inner leader and try to learn the technique to ignore the voice of self-doubter or suppress the voice of self-doubter, you will start listening, you'll start hearing the voice of inner leader. So what is this inner leader is saying? Let's hear the story of your inner leader. Probably your inner leader is saying, is in the abundance thinking. Your inner leader is saying, come on, there are lots of opportunities. Last year, before that, there were people who got promoted. There are people who got raises. There are people who got like $50,000, $30,000 in new job. They got big bomb. They're buying big cars and houses, even in this pandemic. There are lots of opportunities, and people are taking it. A simple example: 3-4 months back, there was a news that Amazon is hiring 30,000 engineers at the average salary of $150,000. And this, it's not just one company in the technology world. This is a big boom of technology world because of this pandemic. There are lots of opportunities. So that's what your inner leader is telling you. What is happening? We just don't know them. You just don't know them. Nobody knows, because, or maybe And it's not from the external point of view. In your company itself, there are lots of opportunities always. There is a possibility that you don't see them, you don't know them. Or there is another possibility that in down the line, in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months down the line, they're coming. And this universe has an, or God, or whatever, or divine power, whatever you believe, that hasn't disclosed it. So they're coming. They're there. You need to be ready to by showcasing yourself. That's a different story. You can tell your inner leader is telling. Your inner leader is also in a growth mindset. What is another story that is telling? That writing self-evaluation is a skill. I can learn it, just like a learning new sports instrument or cooking new dish. Think about it. One of the things that might be stopping you, oh, I'm not good at writing. Oh, I'm not good at showcasing my skill set. I'm not good at putting my thoughts in the words, or my English is not so good, or my communication skills are not good, whatever. What your inner leader here is saying is that it's a skill. It's just like learning new instrument, learning like new sports, learning like new video games that you have. It's just a new skill, and I can learn it. Just like learning new cooking dish. In pandemic, probably you must have learned so many dishes. If there is a recipe, you just go on YouTube and learn the recipe and start doing it. Of course, this recipe is not that easy, or not that simple. That's what we teach in our course to clients, but it can be done. There is a recipe to really do it. So it's like just like a skill, and how hard it is to learn a new skill. You have been you have been adding new skills every single year. This technology, that technology, this tool, that tool. You are genius in adding new skills to your life or your skill set. This is another skill. So think, are you seeing it, the picture? Are you hearing the voice of your inner leader? Is this making sense? If you listen carefully, this is all your inner leader telling you. The leader inside you is telling you. There is an abundance thinking. There is a growth mindset. Another thing that your inner leader is telling is that it's not an improvement. Learning this new skill of self-evaluation is not something you need to fix. It's an enhancement of your current you. It's an addition of new skill. It's not changing you. It's learning new skill of writing the self-evaluation. And it's a skill. If you put in this term, if you put in the see, if you say yourself that I need to fix something, I need to change something, there is a resistance. But if you hear to your inner leader, he's probably saying there is nothing wrong with you. There is nothing to fix in you. All has to be done is that you need to learn this new skill. For example, it's like this. If you don't know how to play golf, it's nothing wrong with you. We just don't know that one particular skill. So if once you start learning how to play golf, you will be able to play golf and enjoy it. Same thing here. If you say, okay, I need to fix this problem of writing self-evaluation, then there won't be any motivation. But your inner leader knows that you are such a strong person. You have all these capabilities. You have the strength and courage and wisdom and everything. And he's telling you that it's just one more skill that needs to be added. Once you start listening to your inner leader in that fashion, everything changes. You become a lot more motivated, a lot more, a lot more excited and energized. And then you start working on this self-evaluation. So that's the very first step. That's a very first solution for the biggest problem that stops people from writing the self-evaluation. Unless you solve this one big problem, nothing else happens. And that's where listening to your inner leader comes in picture. So I would invite you to listen to this leader inside you more often. And I would invite you to join our free webinar, which has been watched by thousands of people. And it's not bragging, but I'm really, really proud of this webinar, that this webinar takes people to think deeper. This webinar helps people to motivate, to take action, and see for themselves like how bigger possibilities, like director position or VP position, how it is possible for them if they follow this step-by-step process. So join the webinar. I'm putting a link here. Watch that webinar and get excited. Don't get inspired that there's a big things are possible for you if you start listening to the leader inside you. So wishing you happiness and success. Click the link, watch the webinar, and I'll see you next in the next. I'll see you in the next presentation. Talk to you soon, and wishing you happiness and success. Talk to you later. Bye.